So let's navigate towards TinkerCAD. We're going to type TinkerCAD.com. TinkerCAD is a very simple 3D modeling software from the Autodesk family. And it's a very simple software that lets you create very beautiful and easy 3D objects. It's an object-based web app, which means that you can launch it in your browser, so you don't need to download the software. It's very simple and easy to use for beginners, children, or anyone who is starting with 3D modeling. One of the best features of TinkerCAD is that it's for free, and since it's very, very easy to use, you can easily start 3D modeling from scratch without having any prior knowledge. This also allows you to teach your students, even from age 9, how 3D modeling works. And if they feel they're a little bit more advanced, and if you slowly, gradually advance, they can then head to more complicated softwares like Rhino 3D or Blender or Fusion 360. How do we set up a profile in TinkerCAD? We're going to click on sign up, and you can choose to either use the educator's profile or to create your personal account. The educator's profile adds an extra security level for teachers and their students, meaning that if you choose this profile, your students in your classrooms will not be able to share their projects outside of your organization. They will be a little bit more restricted on the things that they can do with their files and their projects. So you'll be able to see everything, they will be able to share it with you, but they won't be able to interact with anyone outside the given organization. If you choose to create a personal profile, then any student will be in full charge of their profile. So anyone who enters your classroom, you can still create a classroom inside, but the students will have full control over their account. So you can choose, maybe you can start as an educator, and I'm going to make my educator's account. I'm going to click and verify that I am an educator and I have a permission to moderate students in my classroom. I will click agree, and I'm going to sign up with an email, or you can sign up with Google, depending on which authentication you prefer. I'm going to sign up with my email. I'm going to choose the region I'm from Czech Republic. I'm not going to share my real birthday months just because I just don't like to share my personal info anywhere. So I'm going to just type there some random numbers, and then I'm going to share my email. I'm going to use a different email, and then I'm going to create an account, and we are done. So how can we navigate inside TinkerCAD? You will have 3 different options and 3 different topics that you can tackle in TinkerCAD. One of them is 3D designing using the objects. Or you can also build virtual circuits in case you are, for example, running some electronics lessons or STEM lessons that are focused on electronics. You can make your virtual circuits here in TinkerCAD as well. It's a little bit limited, so you won't find every component in there, but it's very powerful for basic creations of circuits and of showing the students how the circuit can be created. And it's a little bit safer because you definitely cannot burn or create any unwanted reactions inside of your computer. So if you'd like to, you can also use TinkerCAD for that, or you can do 3D modeling using block codes, which are basically simple coding blocks. So if at any point your students want to move to create a little bit of parametric design, which we will also get into later in the sections, parametric design is design that lets us adjust our design based on mathematical functions. So imagine that you want to create a purse, and you want the purse to have different patterns on top of it, but then you decide to make the purse bigger. So you don't want to do the holes or different patterns manually. You want to do it using parametrical design, using mathematical functions. So if you, for example, make the purse bigger, all the object or the model will adjust, and the pattern will adjust accordingly. So instead of you doing it manually and adding and refining, you use math and functions to help you design that. We are not going to start there because it's a little bit more complicated, and I always believe that we should start easy. But in the next chapters, I'm going to show you how we can do that. We are mostly going to use the 3D design section. So on the left side, you can see classes, designs, collections, tutorials, and challenges. Let's start with challenges. I don't have any challenges now because I set up a new account, but if you'd like to get some inspiration on 3D modeling and 3D objects or circuits or code blocks, you can click on Challenge Hub. And inside of the Challenge Hub, you might find different challenges that you can use in your classes. When we head to tutorials, in case you would like to dive deep into TinkerCAD, you can click on tutorials, and here you can have a lot of tutorials on how to do 3D design. It's really a lot, so you can go through them, explore different ways how to use TinkerCAD and 3D design. You won't need it because this course is here to help you learn TinkerCAD, but in case you would like to get more proficient, then for free you can head into the Learning Center and explore also all of the other options of exploring TinkerCAD. Collections are, of course, collections. We don't have any 3D designs, but you can create collections of 3D designs in case you would like to have them in the folder. It's nice to create a collection. We don't have yet any design. This is where you will have displayed your work. Either it's 3D, the circuits, or the code blocks. For us, the most important are the 3D. And then here are the classes. So in the classes section, you can create different groups, which can be based on your classes. You can be maybe teaching year 6, year 7, year 12. So you can for each year create a different class. I won't head into details on how to create a class here because there is a special section for you on how to run this workshop inside of your class. Today we are going to mainly focus on how to create your design. So we're going to head back home, and the last part that I want to show you is this top menu. You can head to gallery to explore different 3D objects that you can also use in your creation. So gallery is full of 3D models and 3D objects that have been already created for you. So you can use them and create a copy of them and replicate them, adjust them. Or you can head to project sections where you have step-by-step instructions on how to create different projects. You can use them as an inspiration, or you can just browse through them and again copy them, create them, adjust them. It's completely up to you. You can also have a look at resources, and you can see there are many resources. You can also have free lesson plans. If you'd like to combine 3D printed fashion with other lessons, then there are already some pre-prepared lessons plans in TinkerCAD as well. Perfect. That's it for the setup and for the small introduction to TinkerCAD. Now let's head to 3D designing our first swatch for the 3D printed textile.